Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to this video. And in this video, before I get into this video, I just want to say this. You know, um, I never dated a woman in my entire life. So, I'm thinking about, thinking about doing some dating. You know, um, because a long time ago, I wasn't into dating. I wasn't much of a people person. But I'm breaking away from being antisocial um, due to my poor upbringing from my parents. So I'm breaking away from that and trying to become more sociable. So that's gonna help me out greatly. Just be more sociable. Just be a people person and stop being antisocial. You know, um, I never had a girlfriend. I never had a wife. And having a wife, it's a good thing. And you know, having dating and social life and having a wife through marriage is and your mental health is very important in your life as a man. Yeah, you need a woman to give you love, support, and companionship, and you can get love, sex, and romance from her. You know, a female will tell you that she loves you. You tell her, "I love you," and she'll say this back to you: "I love you too, sweetheart," or "I love you too, baby." So that's a good thing. And hope I get that in the future, and hope I don't squander it either, and just miss out on that. Well, enough of me. In this video, and this is not a video, this is a voice recording. So let's just say this is a video slash voice recording hybrid. Let's just call it that. Okay, in this voice recording hybrid video, I want to talk about paranoia here in the United States of America. You know, um, I'm grown very tired of this. It just bores me to death. Everybody is so fearful and paranoid of strangers. Everybody thinks that everybody is dangerous. Everybody's out to get them, and you can't you can't just come out of the blue and just talk to some random person in the U.S. because they will view you as a threat. And the women here in the U.S. are like this as well. I ain't saying all of them are like this. They're very fearful and paranoid of people. And you go on social media sites like Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, all these social media sites. And all these trolls and all these crazy people online, and you go on Facebook, you can't have a one-on-one conversation with anybody. Like, people will barely talk to you, and you got some people who don't want you to use their name in a Facebook conversation. You can't say their name. They don't want you to they don't want you to say their name in a Facebook conversation because they're paranoid and thinking that someone will find them online and use their name to steal their identity theft. It's just crazy, and I had a crazy conversation with my father. This all started when I targeted some people, a woman who was with her husband and with her children, and they were trying to pickpocket me, and they failed on that because this woman was showing her body and her booty in front of me to get to so she can get my attention. I'll probably have the hots for her and go and try to talk to her, and while I go and try to talk to her, her husband will sneak up behind me and take my wallet from my back pocket. I keep my wallet in my side pocket. So yeah. So I saw this. Well, actually, it wasn't for my antisocialness. Towards that woman. I didn't want to talk to her because I was very antisocial. She would. Her husband will get me. Her and her husband will swoop in and steal my wallet from my back pocket. But I had my wallet in the side pockets of my pants. So this happened back in February of 2023. You know, at a Target in Bossier City, Louisiana. So yeah, going back to people being so paranoid here in the United States, like everybody's so paranoid, everybody's so fearful of strangers, everybody's afraid of one another, and then you got like lack of social and human connection, everybody's segregated, isolated from everybody, social isolation, you know, you're alone, it doesn't matter how alone and isolated you are, you can't bother people. You can't talk to anybody in the United States unless it's for business related purposes. You can't talk to people unless it's for business, or a police officer asks you a question. Is the when when a police officer pulls you over for speeding, he or she just talks to you, like tell you, oh, you drove over the speed limit, you failed to reduce your speed, you broken the stationary vehicle law where you drove past an emergency vehicle with flashing lights in the slow driving lane. You're supposed to move into the fast lane or the passing lane or the overtaking lane to avoid going past an emergency vehicle parked on a shoulder that's near the slow driving lane on a divided highway, dual carriageway, or freeway or whatnot. Yeah, you just in the U.S. You don't talk to anybody unless it's for business. You just consume. Just buy things, like buy food and products. People sell you products at stores. You buy the products and just fill your house up with unwanted junk that you don't need, and you just buy this car that's going to be depreciated through time. That's it. The United States to me is just a boring, empty country. There's no love, sex, romance, companionship, playfulness, and fun. Yeah, the women, yeah, you don't get all of that with the women. Like the women don't are just so, they're so narcissistic, picky, toxic. They're full of themselves, and you got the women who act like men and they're manly. They have tattoos, they dye their hair different colors. They cut their hair short. Lesbians, you name it. Like and I noticed, like, when I was at this Ross store in Longview, Texas, I went to buy some some body spray, spray on deodorant, and when I was paying for these things, at the checkout counter, I noticed, like, this woman, there was a black woman. She was a cashier, and she was like a robot. She was like a zombie. Yeah, she was just basically a zombie. She was just out there. Like I look at her, I look into her eyes, and you know, she didn't have no soul or nothing. She was just basically empty, very, very empty inside. Like you look in the soul, you look in the eyes of a typical an American who works at a job, who carries themselves in life, feel like they just like lifeless, they're dead. They have no drive, no passion, no happiness. They're just angry, bitter, robotic, dead, and repressed. You know, they're just grumpy and grouchy. And it doesn't matter where you go in the United States, you just see this. But you go to like the rural areas, where people you know, are sociable and down to earth and easy to talk to. And you got cities and places like like big cities, some big cities in the U.S. People will just talk to you in a very superficial, artificial manner. It's not sincere and real. Yeah, and yeah, I went to some antisocial places in America, and it sucks that you just can't talk to anybody. Everything got to be business, you know. And when you try to talk to someone, I mean, if you speak up and you try to talk to them, they just completely ignore you. They act like you just don't exist, and yeah, you know, the United States is just, it's just a country that's just built on just working, consuming, following the rules, obey the traffic laws, pay your bills, clean up, sit on the couch at home when you get off of work and just watch TV, and it really sucks if you're a single man, if you're lonely, you're single, you don't have a girlfriend or a wife or family or nothing, you're just alone, you're just isolated from everybody, and it really sucks if you're old and alone, you've been alone all your life, and you're just lonely old man, and you're gonna develop like dementia and full blown Alzheimer's disease, and you get heart disease. You have strokes and you'll die. You develop all these health issues because of loneliness. I heard that loneliness is an epidemic here in the United States, and also is like that in other countries that are like the U.S. You just, yeah, it's like smoking, you know, like, but if you go to another country, you leave the U.S. and go to a country that values social human connection, where people just talk to you, come up and just talk to you in an organic fashion. You know, if you're alone and you're in a restaurant or you wherever you are in that country, like people will come up to you and talk to you and socialize with you. You form friendships. You make friends with a man and with men and women. I mean, you get a girlfriend slash wife out of a woman. But I'm not gonna say that all countries are like that. Not all countries are like that. But anyway, yeah, I kind of got off a topic. I kind of got off topic. Yeah, I was talking about people in America being paranoid. I'm just tired. I'm just sick of this paranoia. It's just getting old. It's getting boring. Like, I'm just sick of it. Oh, you gotta. That's why I tell you not to drive on the back roads. If your car quits on you, you get beat up by a white supremacist if you're black, and you get shot and killed. And people are crazy. People are dangerous. Blah 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 blah. Oh, lock yourself up in your home. In prison, and just isolate yourself from anybody. Don't trust nobody. Everybody is dangerous. Everybody is dangerous. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mass shootings in the U.S. And Donald Trump and Joe Biden and voting and politics and political freedom. And I don't care about all of that stuff anymore. And I don't care for conspiracy theorists either. I don't care for that. I don't care for all that stuff anyway. What's really important to me, as is the culture here in the United States. People are antisocial. People are paranoid and fearful of strangers. Everybody's so weird and crazy and out there. Everybody's not normal and sociable and friendly and down to earth. Nobody isn't like that in the U.S. And that's just sad. And I'm trapped in here, and I'm trying to get out of here. If I went to a country where people were more were are down to earth, and they have social human connection, and you have the freedom to be yourself, and yeah, like I can go, yeah, if I was in a country like that, I'll probably feel a lot better about myself. And, yeah, but um yeah, paranoia here in the US is just run amok, and I'm just tired of it. It's it bores me to death. You live with a family, you have a family member, who's paranoid. Like, your car breaks down, and like, some electrical in your car goes out, then it comes back on, which is kind of strange. It breaks down on you on the road. You're on some road, and it's dark at night, and your car quit on you, and then your car starts back up, and you're driving along. You call a family member and tell you're stranded. You call them after you call 911, and your car starts up. You start driving, and that family member stays on the line on the phone while you're driving. Want to know where you're at. They're so fearful of you. You're fearful of your safety. And yet, when you're all safe and, you're okay, nobody doesn't want to talk to you. It's like the only way they talk to you is if you're in danger, if you're in trouble, and all they care about is your safety and worrying about if you're okay or not. But if you're all right and nothing bad happens to you, you're not sick or anything, you won't hear a thing from your family. And to me, that's just weird. It's so weird, like very, very strange. And it's not like that in other countries at all. You know, like okay, like you go to Turkey, for instance, like you don't get that vibe in Turkey like you do here in the U.S. And I've been to Turkey, and I remember I went to this souvenir shop, after getting off this tour bus, like touring some village in Turkey, and I got off this tour bus with with a lot of people. Like most of them were older Americans, and I was the only young guy on that bus. And I go to the souvenir shop, and I buy a statuette of a Roman soldier, and I pay for it. Okay, I get done pay for it. I walk out and get ready to go get on the tour bus, and I was such in a big hurry, to stay with those people in that bus and my parents and my sister. And there was this guy who I bought that statuette from. He wanted to talk to me. I just walked past him and just ignored him, and he just was just blown away. Like he just wanted to know, like, what's wrong with this guy? Like he just walked past me, didn't want to talk to me. That's just really weird. And America made me like this, and I just hate this country. I just hate what this country turned me into. This give me the toxicness, the craziness, the awfulness of this country. And yeah, you got foreign people, like you got people like Winston Wu here on YouTube, and you got other foreigners, like people from foreign countries. They see how Americans are, and a lot of them just don't understand why Americans act the way they act. They don't understand them, And I heard on the radio a long time ago on this radio station, a woman in some country in South America talked about people in the States. They don't care about one another. They don't socialize with one another. They don't believe in they don't believe in social and human connection at all. Everybody's so isolated and disconnected. And and then you got a guy from Jamaica who I found on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. He's saying the same thing about the U.S. He made a video saying, "Dear Americans, why are you so antisocial? Like, why are you so fearful and afraid of me? Like, I just want to talk to you. In my country of Jamaica, I mean, me and my people in my country, we believe in socializing with each other. We believe in talking to one another. And you Americans are just so afraid and so antisocial. Like I try to talk to this woman or girl somewhere in the States, and she was so fearful and so afraid of me. Like I said, why are you so afraid of me? Like I just want to talk to you. So that tells you just how screwed up, how messed up the U.S. is. And, just paranoia and antisocialness. It's just I don't know what to say, And I'm an American, like I just the United States, to me, nothing in this country, nothing in the U.S. doesn't make any sense to me. Like nothing makes sense. Everything just so loop sided. Everything's so upside down and weird and crazy. Everything is so off. And yeah, I think I didn't tell this story. I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I remember I drove to Shreveport, Louisiana on US 80. I drove from I traveled from Longview, Texas to Shreveport, Louisiana on US 80, a highway. Um, yeah, a back road that runs through the country, runs through small towns and cities. Yeah, yeah, I went to Shreveport. I went to this Cracker Barrel place, and I bought a piece of candy there. You know, After that, I got in my car and I traveled, back to Texas. When I got into Texas, I stopped at a Burger King in Wascom, and this was weird. the cashier, I mean, the person who was taking my order at the drive-through, she was telling me, oh, I was telling her I wanted a Whopper, a side order of fries, and a Diet Coke. And when I was telling her what I wanted, she interrupted me and told me, "Do you want all the vegetables and everything on the burger? Me and I want lettuce, onions, tomatoes, and pickles on the burger." I said, "Yeah, I want that." And okay, she told me to drive to the window in the back. So I went to the window in the back and I paid for my food. I sit and waited for my food. And I noticed uh, a black woman was sticking her, a black girl was sticking her hand out another window, telling me to drive ahead. So I had to go. So therefore, like I had to drive to the second window to pick up my food, which I didn't know anything about. It just, it was just didn't make any sense. It was weird. Then when I got into Longview, my car gave out on me. Well, it didn't give out on me. Like, the start, the automatic stop mechanism on my car. It stops the car, and it saves the fuel on the car. I was driving a 2017 Chevrolet Impala 1LS, and the car's auto stopped the car. I was at a traffic light at an intersection with a traffic light. Then when it was time for me to go, um, my car wouldn't go. It just stopped. And I think yeah. Then when I stopped, then I didn't stay at the intersection for very long. A couple in a pickup truck come driving up and asking me, What's wrong with your car?" I said, "My car just quit on me." And the couple just immediately just jumped out and would immediately just push my car off the road. And they said, "Are your cars in neutral? Are your cars in neutral?" So I put my car in neutral, and they just pushed my car off the road. Like they didn't want to talk to me or anything. They just pushed my car off the road and onto another road. That was pushed onto another road, and the couple just disappeared and just left me on the side of the road. So yeah, they didn't say, do you have? I mean, did you call for help? Like, do you have a smartphone with you or anything? Nothing. They just pushed my car off the road and just pushed me to safety, and they just got back in their pickup truck and left. Weird. Weird. Really, really weird. And, and yeah, and I called 911, then I called my father. My father got all paranoid, and I was telling him where I'm at. He said, "I don't know where you're at." I was telling him where I was at, where I was stranded at, and he just he got upset and called me a stupid boy for simply just going out. First of all, I'm not a boy, I'm a man. So, yeah, and also, I went to see if my car started up after I talked to my father on the phone. The car started up. I called my dad back and told him that my car is back running again. So I drive home. He stayed on the line. He was so paranoid and feared for my safety because he's afraid something bad is going to happen to me. Yeah, and then my sister heard about this, and then she called me. Like it was just crazy. Then here I am. I'm safe and sound at my house, and I won't hear a thing from them. Social human connection. I don't socialize with anybody. I'm just isolated in my home. But in the future, I'm probably gonna have a woman that's gonna give me love, sex, romance, and companionship and support. And I hope that's gonna happen to me in the future. And I want this. And I'm thinking about starting a family with this special someone if I ever meet her. But or for me to meet her, I got to get a job and got to work. You know, yeah, I can't just sit at home and just let this woman fall into my lap. So I got to have a job. I got to have the money to go out and meet her. So anyway, paranoia here in the United States of America sucks. And I'm sick of it, and I just want to get out of the U.S. Just want to get out of North America in general and move to a country that believes in social and human connection, and a country that allows you to be yourself, gives you social freedoms. Yeah, countries that are down to earth. You know, the women are down to earth. The people in general are down to earth. You know, and I you know and I really want to experience dating with a woman. I want to date a woman, and I want to experience love. You know, I want to feel love from a woman. I want to tell a woman that I love her. I want to tell a woman how beautiful and how gorgeous she is. You know, I just want to make her day, and I want her to make my day. You know, love, sex, romance, companionship. Yeah, I really want that from a woman. So anyway, that's all I gotta say in this voice recording. I want to thank all of you for listening. You know, and I know some of you people who watch some of the videos on this channel. You guys are not interested in what's going on in the United States. You guys don't care about what goes on in the U.S. Some of you who live in other countries don't care about what goes on in the U.S. And I don't care what goes on in the U.S. either. You know, I don't care about voting in the fall in I don't care about voting in the fall. I don't want to vote anymore. I don't care for voting. I don't care for politics. I don't care for drama and BS and the economy and and following the rules and money and nice cars. You know, I don't care about all of that crap. I just care about, just socializing with people, and care about my mental health, and forming connections with people, which is good for me. And that's good for all of you too. That's good for everybody. So, and that's all I gotta say in this video. And yeah, and yeah, paranoia in America blows. All right, this is the new Manchester saying this, signing out. Au revoir. Cheers. Take care. Bye.